I know we're almost 2 months into 2026, but better late than never. So here's the concise guide of anime that I watched from 2025. Starting off with Blue Exorcist Season 4 The Blue Knight Saga. This was a good step for the franchise as a whole and kept the continuity going from a really good Season 3. This takes Rin into the past and gives this series the full background of the story while also progressing it. Overall, a good season, B+. Next is Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. This season keeps the fun from the first one while expanding on characters a bit more. However, it does divert itself from the actual Shangri-La Frontier game into other games in the storyline, making this season a little bit less focused and cohesive than the first. I'll still give it a B. Solo Leveling Season 2 still keeps the insane, fast-paced, clean action from the first season, and the absolute aura farming continues. However, the story is still left in the dark again, in terms of questions being asked, and the season is particularly felt like a copy and paste of the Chimera Ant arc from Hunter x Hunter. Overall, though, A-. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This movie is the first in what will be a trilogy of movies finishing the Demon Slayer franchise. Animation is superb, music is fantastic, and the plot thickens. The downside here is a weird focus on suicide, but still, it's an A. Next we have Dan to Dan Season 2. The storytelling was continuously building in the first season, but this season does even a better job of it. Music is noticeable and fantastic for this one. Overall, A. The first season of To Be Hero X was amazing. This Donghua anime show is incredible with at least 4 different animation styles, mixing 2D and 3D in some cases. It's got a story which starts off basic but unravels into something much bigger, complicated yet interesting, and compelling. It's not without flaws, but they're very minor. It's an excellent start to a hopefully epic series. It's an A. Ubelblacht and had its first season. Alright, look, this wasn't great at all. I even had to re-watch this again to make sure it was as bad as I thought, and my eyes the first time did not deceive me. Bad plot, bad fantasy backgrounds, generic music, and scene lighting was all over the place. There was only one good scene in the entire anime. One of the worst seasons I've seen in a while. This gets a D. First season of Sakamoto Days was good, but not great. I was expecting something more. The plot was fun and funny, but there were small cracks in the animation, especially in fight sequences. Still a B+, though. Second season of Kaiju Number 8 was another great season from this show. Still had great action. It turned the tone more serious overall. The show has a knack for making everything fly by really quickly, and especially with this one. Again, there was 12 episodes, but this one felt even shorter. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. It felt too short, and the cliffhanger ended in a really bad way. Not terrible, but really bad. Make sure you know what the difference is. Grade, however, is still an A. First season for Apocalypse Hotel. It's a cute slice-of-life apocalyptic show, which takes a normally dark setting and makes it lighthearted. This isn't an exceptional anime by any stretch, though. The plot holes and average animation make this a fine watch. This gets the average grade of B. Chainsaw Man Reze Arc film was a really good anime movie. Obviously, the animation, music, almost everything was great. Except for the main point, which was the plot. As of now, it just didn't feel like it moved the overall plot of the anime forward, just kind of like a beautiful side quest. It's a great movie in its own right, but it's a bit weird when trying to fit it in with the first season of Chainsaw Man. Overall, A-. Season 2 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun felt a lot more consistent with the animation and story than the first season. Music matches the animation style, which is still pretty unique. I really like that. The second half of the second season is probably the best that this whole series has to offer. There's a couple pacing issues, but overall, it's well done. Well done. This gets an A-. Konosuba Season 3 was honestly probably the best season from Konosuba, with a better plot and slightly less adult humor. The The same problems, though, consisted with the rest of the series, mainly just characters, and it's still an ecchi. This gets a C+. Secrets of the Silent Witch, the first season, was fantastic. Beautiful, light, arid, anything you could conjure up to make it just a beautiful show. It has the makings of a great anime. It's got a good job balancing action, humor, and the main plot, running in the background with the little plots in the forefront. The last episode was a major highlight. A-. The 8th and final season of My Hero Academia was a good summation of the whole series. It gave a well done, albeit predictable ending to a long-running show. While the series overall did drag on a little longer than it should have, this made it worth going all the way through the ending. This gets an A. We also had the first season of The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. While exactly not my kind of genre, I did end up liking it more than I thought I would. Clean, well done, and it goes at a good pace, and more importantly, it can be enjoyed by all. Maybe it didn't seem exceptional, but it was just well done nonetheless. A-. May I ask for one final thing first season? Opened up with a banger of a first episode. And the last episode was fun as well, but in between the first one and the last one, there really was not much at all. There was small intrigue when it came to the plot, but the plot and the pacing were all over the place. It was also repetitive. It was also stuck in no man's land when it came to how it was trying to be serious and funny, but it just couldn't make up its mind which one it wanted to lean in more. B-. Uma Musume first season was one of my absolute all-time favorites. That's what it ended up turning into. Animation, music, plot, fantastic, well-grounded. A major improvement over the main Uma Musume series Pretty Derby in almost every way. The only knock I could say is probably you do have to watch Pretty Derby to get the full enjoyment out of Cinderella Grey, but other than that, it's an A. Gachi Okuda's first season came out, and the background and world building is really interesting. Like the surrounding makes it an intriguing show to get into. So it differentiates itself a little bit from other shonen series, and it can be really funny at times. However, it does suffer from a slightly generic main plot with a very generic main character. Overall, though, it's a B+. City the Animation had its first and maybe only season. There's a lot of things that made it pop, including the colors. Made by the creator of Nishiju, it does a good job with humor and built on what good Nishiju did and made it even better. Like Nishiju, this also didn't really have a plot, but it was still a really fun watch. A-. Finally, Spy Family Season 3 is now delivering on a broader plot expansion. While keeping the lightheartedness of the previous two seasons, it runs the main plot very well in the background, adding more backstory to main characters while also advancing the more serious plot. This is an A. And there you have it. The anime seasons from 2025 ranked. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments. I'm probably going to get heated for a couple of these, but these were my opinions at least. So let me know, and I will see you later. Ciao, ciao.